thing you did, the thing you regret, the thing that broke your confidence, is not powerful enough to cancel why you are here? Because sometimes the greatest battle in life is not the problem itself. It is the meaning we give to the problem. A setback happens and we call it our identity. A mistake happens and we call it our future. A painful season happens and we begin to believe that life has disqualified us. But listen carefully. Your problem may explain where you have been, but it does not have the authority to define where you are going. There is something inside of you that existed before the pain found you. There is something written into your life that is deeper than your disappointment. There is a reason you are still breathing, and that reason is not small. Your purpose is more powerful than your problems because purpose gives pain somewhere to go. Without purpose, pain just circles inside you. It turns into shame. It turns into bitterness. It turns into fear. It turns into a quiet sentence you keep repeating over yourself. Maybe this is just who I am. But purpose interrupts that lie. Purpose says, no, this is not who you are. This is something you survived. Purpose does not pretend the problem did not happen. Purpose gives the problem a new job. The wound becomes wisdom. The failure becomes instruction. The delay becomes preparation. The closed door becomes redirection. The season that felt wasted becomes the place where your character was quietly being built. And that is why you cannot afford to measure your future by your worst chapter. Some of you have been living as though your mistake has more authority than your assignment. You remember what went wrong more clearly than you remember what you were created to carry. You have rehearsed the shame so many times that you forgot there is still treasure in you. But here is the truth. A broken instrument can still make music when it is placed in the right hands. A seed buried in dirt is not dead. It is hidden. And sometimes what looks like burial is really preparation. You thought life was covering you, but maybe life was planting you. Maybe the darkness did not come to destroy you. Maybe it came to teach you how to grow without applause. Because purpose is not fragile. Purpose does not disappear because you had a bad season. Purpose does not run away because you made a wrong turn. Purpose does not expire because people misunderstood you. Purpose is deeper than reputation, deeper than embarrassment, deeper than the opinions of people who only met you in one chapter of your life and thought they understood the whole book. And this is where many people get stuck. They keep trying to become someone who has never been through anything. But the goal is not to erase your story. The goal is to let your story be redeemed. There is a difference between being damaged and being developed. There is a difference between being delayed and being denied. There is a difference between falling down and being finished. And some of you are calling yourself finished when you are really being formed. Your purpose is more powerful than your problems because problems often reveal what purpose requires. Pressure reveals patience. Rejection reveals identity. Loss reveals what you were leaning on. Failure reveals what still needs wisdom. Waiting reveals whether your faith is rooted in convenience or conviction. The problem did not come with more power than your purpose. It came with information. It showed you where you needed strength. It showed you where you needed healing. It showed you where you needed discipline. It showed you where you were still letting fear lead. And if you learn from it instead of living under it, the same problem that tried to bury you can become the soil that builds you. But you have to stop bowing to the problem. You have to stop introducing yourself by what hurt you. You have to stop letting one season become your whole name. You are not just the person who failed. You are the person who learned. You are not just the person who was rejected. You are the person who was redirected. You are not just the person who had to start over. You are the person who discovered that starting over did not kill you. That matters, because the enemy of purpose is not always laziness. Sometimes the enemy of purpose is shame. Shame tells you, sit down. You already lost your chance. Purpose says, stand up. You are still here. Shame says, hide. Purpose says, heal. Shame says, it is too late. Purpose says, the next decision still matters. And that is the key. You do not defeat your problems by pretending they are not real. You defeat them by refusing to let them become your ruler. The debt may be real. The grief may be real. The mistake may be real. The betrayal may be real. The delay may be real. But none of those things are stronger than a person who has finally remembered why they must keep going. When purpose wakes up, problems lose their throne. They may still be present, but they are no longer in charge. Because purpose gives you a reason to get up when your emotions would rather stay down. Purpose gives you a reason to rebuild when pride wants you to disappear. Purpose gives you a reason to forgive when bitterness wants to own your heart. Purpose gives you a reason to keep becoming when your past keeps trying to call you backward. And maybe that is the word you needed today. You are not here by accident. Your life is not random. Your breath is not meaningless. You are not just surviving years on a calendar. There is something you are here to become, something you are here to build, something you are here to carry, something you are here to release into the world. And your problems do not get the final vote. So today, stop asking, why did this happen to me? As though the answer is only pain. Start asking, what can this produce in me? Because the moment you ask that question, the problem begins to lose power. It becomes material. It becomes training. It becomes testimony. It becomes evidence that you survived what was supposed to silence you. And when you finally step into your purpose, you will understand something. The problem was loud, but purpose was deeper. The problem was painful, but purpose was stronger. The problem tried to name you, but purpose came to remind you who you were all along. So get up, not because everything is perfect, not because the problem vanished, not because you have all the answers. Get up because your purpose is still alive. And anything still alive can still grow. Anything still growing can still change. And anything aligned with purpose can still become powerful. Your problems are not more powerful than your purpose. What you are called to become is greater than what you have survived. And the next chapter does not belong to your pain. It belongs to your purpose. If this message spoke to you, subscribe to Seeds of Thought and share this with someone who needs to remember that their story is not over.